Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Total War Rome 2. We're going to take a bit of a look at the multiplayer battles. Now, this will be against the devs as you can see. So we're going to play, we'll select a dev and play against them. And hopefully we have what it takes. Although I'm going to spoil the video now and say we do not have what it takes. Because when we take the devs on at their own game, we lose massively. Such is correct and no doubt proper. So we're going to play Leif. On apparently this is a land battle, so I think we'll be okay. So this screen, what we need, this is showing us what forces we've got available. We've got to select our team now. I set as the Averni, I believe. However, I changed that to Rome because you know everybody wants to see Rome. Let's play as Rome. The window on the left shows the units available. So we can select from all of those units to compile our army, but we've only got so much gold to kind of spend on the army because we can't just have every unit because that would be totally ridiculous and massively unfair to the enemy. So we've got to pick what type of general we want. We can have a strategist, we can have the, I think the one's the commander, yeah, and the warrior. Also, if you haven't guessed, this is a commentary after the video has been recorded because I'll be totally honest, it's a lot to take in, and I don't just want to go in and start commentating on things which I don't really fully understand and make a complete mess of it. So these are the equipment that we can take along. So we can take special stuff like fireballs and spike traps and sharp stone things and stuff like that. I don't actually take any of that. I kind of focus on mobile army, if you will. So we're going to go for a ton of like legionaries because good lord they're solid. Surely they can win the war for me, although as it turns out they don't really seem to win much. But ladies and gentlemen, we will learn I guess the importance of formation and our complete lack of formation results in massive capitulation. So I am trying to balance the army out a bit. I'm like, okay, we'll have a lot of heavy ground infantry. We'll have a few spear infantry to fight cavalry. We'll have some ranged infantry. We'll have our own cavalry. We'll even have some goddamn elephants. And we'll have some crazy war dogs as well because everybody loves war dogs. So what I'm thinking is, right, okay, I've got a lot of heavy infantry. They can engage the enemy front line. The archers can back them up. The cavalry can go around the flanks and take out any ranged units or artillery or whatever the hell the enemy's going to have. And I've got an elephant because, yeah, it's an elephant. And war dogs. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is pretty fine. Spend my you can see above the general skill type is the amount of funds you've got available. So I've tried to spend as much as I can. I haven't gone for any of the equipment because, like I said, I've just totally loaded out my army. So hopefully we can do some damage. You can save and load armies as well, because if you're playing this quite often in multiplayer, you might have a favourite army that you like to, you know, like to play with, and it's pointless kind of rebuilding the army every single time. You can just save the army, which is fine, and obviously quite user friendly. Although I think the old Total War games did that as well. So I've clicked on Start Battle. This is the Battle of Octuduron. I've probably totally butchered that as well, so again I apologise. And it's basically a straight up fight. We've got we're going to spawn in the yellow golden box, and I believe they spawn in the red box. And you can see there's like a bit of forest around the side. Now you can use forest to your like advantage. You can kind of move through it concealed, provided you're walking at a slow pace. That was kind of my master plan, as you'll see when the game loads. Although my master plan was a complete load of crap, and it didn't really help me. But as I say, in my defence, playing the devs of the game at their own game, at a game I have not got that much experience at, yeah, things are going to go quite bad. But in a good way. I think my general dies immediately, but whatever, enough of the spoilers. Okay, so this is the map. We've got to wait for the other player to finish loading in before we can, you know, start the game. So if you look around at the map, you can see it's kind of like hilly. Like we're sort of going to be attacking up a bit of a slight incline, so that's going to obviously affect our soldiers. There are forested areas around it, which, as I said earlier, my plan My really basic plan was just heavy infantry go straight up the middle, cavalry go around the sides, archers behind the infantry, and we'll go from there. So my army looks quite impressive. At least it did to me. So what I'm doing now is selecting all my cavalry into one group, and I'm going to move them over to the left, because I want to move them through the kind of the forested area, because I don't want them to be seen, and then I want to swoop in on a devastating attack. But as I say, it doesn't exactly turn out like that. But okay. So what I've done is I've put the bulk of the army into a formation where the heavy infantry is at the front, with the spearmen, and the archers are behind. One of the problems I've noticed is, especially with my complete lack of tactics, or very minimal tactics, is I'm basically committing a massive total war cardinal sin, which is ordering large blocks of the army to actually attack. And that's not clever. That really isn't clever. So we've selected that we're ready, and we'll get to see what the enemy have done in terms of deployment. And then we can kind of make our changes based on that, because I don't think we can see each other when we deploy. And as you'll see in a second, the old dev, quite clever the way they've deployed. Oh dear. So you can see they've deployed over there between the forested areas, which is quite the problem. And they're in a very nice formation as well. I mean, look at that. A nice defensive formation. They're just going to sit there and they're just going to wait. On the right hand side of that army, you can see that there's actually some artillery piece there, which is bad news for us. So straight away I'm thinking, oh god, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Well, my cavalry cannot go straight head on into that main bulk of the army. So I'm going to move my whole army over towards them and advance them towards them. That's what I'm thinking, which obviously is not... It's not too clever, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm splitting up my cavalry, because I cannot send the cavalry all the way down that side, because that would be madness. And besides, there's artillery on the right hand side, so I'm thinking, you know what? I'll send the cavalry round the right, and we'll hit that artillery, and we'll try and take it out as fast as possible. But you might be able to notice, if you look in the distance by the cavalry, there's two unit groups moving across. They are spear infantry, so anti-cavalry. Very clever. Very, very clever. Protect the artillery with anti-cavalry stuff, because what is going to get there first? The cavalry. So if you can kill the cavalry, oh dear, you're going to win that little skirmish. So I'm thinking, right, okay, I'll keep advancing these horses, because at least I've got, you know, both flanks covered. And that's great. Oh dear. Now my army's not in a very good formation there. It's very like... it should be spread out more. At least I feel like it should be spread out more. Because they're sort of following each other in a line. That's more of a target, I guess, for the archers. So I'm going to move my cavalry forward and sort of deal with this. But I don't want to fight them because they're spear infantry. So I'm thinking, right, cavalry around the side and then straight into the back and try and take that out as soon as possible. Basically throw away my cavalry. Like, I'm just thinking, like, whatever, let's get rid of them, I don't care. Which is probably not the best attitude to have if you're supposed to be a general of a massive army. And it probably, that's why I lose. Oh dear. So the war elephants are in like a stupidly strange position. I don't know what they're doing there. But then I put them there, so I should know that. Although I do fix that and I send them out in at the front. But that's not too clever. Because as you'll see, they sort of get absolutely destroyed by everything. Oh dear. And also, I don't know whether you can notice, but my general is actually in the middle. Like, he's the guy with the Roman eagle above his head. So he's basically going to be the first guy to engage, which isn't too clever. So what I'm doing is I'm ordering groups of units to attack different types of units. So I'm like, okay, my heavy infantry can start attacking their heavy infantry. My ranged units can start attacking their ranged units, and that's fine. The thing is, though, can I actually see all of the enemy's army at this point? I can't, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm stupid. So, it looks like he's seen what's going on with my dastardly plan of sending the cavalry around the side. And he actually changed the formation of his spearmen into like a wedge shape to fully protect it, which totally scuppered my plan. I was like, okay. Oh dear. Can you see it? It's quite a nice formation. So I've split up the main army and sent quite a lot in that direction towards that. And I've sent the war elephants all crazy and mental. But the war elephants are getting attacked by ranged units, which isn't too good. You see the ranged units hitting the towers, which is yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. So send that cavalry up. Go, go, go. The war elephants are dying, which is bad. And then they're starting to rout, which is even worse. That means they're gone, which is a bit of a shame, because I could have done with them in the fight. The war dogs though have made it to the front lines and sort of do a little bit of damage. My cavalry, I'm like, go, go, go. It's like now I've become desperate. I'm like, right, just everybody go, 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 go. So I'm in my head, I'm thinking that's kind of fine. We're going to win that engagement. I think we do win the engagement on the right hand side by their artillery. The problem is we suffer massive losses, and I've just realised, oh shit, my general is actually right on the front line. What the hell is he doing? He's getting bombarded with every conceivable ranged weapon they've got at their disposal, which is bad. Both groups of our cavalry are starting to rout at the back, which isn't very good because, oh dear, cavalry, they've just basically been destroyed by anti-cavalry units. I knew they were anti-cavalry, yet I still sent them in. It's because I wanted results, ladies and gentlemen. I did not get results. I got a massive dose of capitulation. So at this point, I'm like, oh god. There's cavalry in the hiding in the woods. There's a massive column of infantry moving in. Again, not in a very good formation because they're just like in a straight line. What the hell, man? But the main bulk of the army, I'm trying to change them into a better formation. Although it's a bit too late for that. Oh dear. So we've moved into the woods for a little bit of protection. The general is gone. He's routed. He's totally gone, which is a shame because you know the general's got certain buffs which do help the army out massively. And now we're engaged in an absolutely terrible bit of combat where his cavalry are hitting our archers, which is not good. As you can see, there's another group that's been routed off the battlefield. So it's a really effective way of getting rid of things like archers. If you can get in and flank really quick, you can wipe the units out almost instantly. I mean, look at this now. This has just evolved into like a complete total mess on my part. Units are just all over the place. His main bulk of archers are just absolutely slamming our infantry. I think I put them into Testudo now, which is a turtle formation. Try and help them a bit, but look at that. We are taking massive damage. Another group of units is routing. And at this point, I don't think we've even... I think we may have got rid of one of it. Two of his units, maybe. We've destroyed his artillery though, and we're kind of winning on that side. At least I'm going to say we're winning, although again that's not looking too good. Now you might notice behind us the cavalry have stopped, which is also pretty bad because what does that mean? We fell straight into their trap. They are hitting us from the front. We're sandwiched in between, and what do you think this cavalry is going to do? Oh dear, that cavalry is going to slam us like we've never been slammed before. But we do have our own cavalry remaining up the top left, which we can move in, and which we do now, on a complete suicide mission. It looks like some of our, I think our Roman legionaries have actually gone into the front line there, and they're starting to slam in. So at least they're making contact. But look, as you'll notice, as soon as that's happened, the good old Dev has sent the cavalry in to clean up this travesty of a battle. Oh dear. Oh dear. And there's another unit routing. So at this point I'm pretty much dead. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try and do as much damage as I can. The battle that I thought we'd actually won on the right hand side proved to be a massive defeat. Even though we had more forces that engaged in that, it just shows how we wasn't using the or how I wasn't using the abilities of the formations or anything correctly. It was just like go, 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 and it resulted in absolutely massive capitulation.
As you command.
Quite a few bodies there on the battlefield. Oh dear. So we've basically lost, and I'm like, you know what? We'll start cracking the whip. Get in there and win. Get in there and win. I mean, they have no chance. They're totally outnumbered and surrounded, and it's pretty bad. But here comes the cavalry to save the day. But oh look, on the left-hand side to intercept our cavalry is the enemy cavalry. Oh. So our cavalry never make it anyway. They just get involved in a little bit of a fight with their cavalry. Oh dear. So yeah, it's pretty bad. So the lesson we've learned from this, ladies and gentlemen, is do not play devs at their own game when you don't have the absolute highest level of experience with said game. And oh dear. So I'm like, hello, Leif. Hey. Oh dear. I was going to say that never went too well, but then I thought I'll just say oh dear instead, because I think that sums it up a bit better. Oh dear. I mean, to be fair to the chaps in that fight there, I mean, we've still got one group of infantry doing the best they can. But, you know, they're spear infantry against loads of heavy infantry and ranged infantry, so yeah. And our archers hiding in the woods have been smashed by their cavalry. Our cavalry are also losing the fight because they're fighting their cavalry and getting smashed by archers, and I believe that's the end of the battle. So we've totally lost, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't think we even caused any damage to the enemy. We may have caused maybe 1 or 2, but even then I think I'm kind of clutching at straws. Oh dear. So that was a game against the dev Leif, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, and we lost massively. But that's what you can expect in Total War Rome 2 as far as multiplayer goes. I mean, just look at that. We deployed that many, they deployed that many. Look how many we lost. Oh dear. I'll catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Toodaloo.